Hello everybody. Hope you've been having a wonderful Monday. I just wanted to stop by and share a few thoughts with you. And some things have just been on my mind after last night's Super Bowl. And if you didn't watch it, you really need to look at that game. That was really an incredible, energizing game. Really some historic things happened, and you have to be under a rock if you don't know what happened, because it's been all over social media. So be sure to find out what's going on. Just scroll through your news feed. I'm sure you'll see lots and lots of opinions and thoughts about what happened last night. I see some of you coming on. Glad to have you here. I won't keep you long. Just a few thoughts about the setback, the setup, and the comeback. And we've heard that statement used a lot. Oftentimes we'll see it on social media. We'll hear things like, well, the setback was just a setup for the comeback, right? I'm sure you've heard that. You've seen it posted. But what does that really mean? And how do you apply it to your life? I actually had so many thoughts running through my mind as I was watching the game last night. And I'll tell you, I am not the avid football fan, but I love the occasional game, especially the big games. The Super Bowl, I'm going to be there, enjoying the American tradition and having fun. And I never, ever expected to experience what I did last night watching the Super Bowl. And boy, I'm so glad that I didn't miss out on that incredible experience. And so some thoughts stayed with me, and I want to share with you what those are. So the setback from last night's game was not scoring a touchdown until the end of the third quarter. That's pretty major setback. The setback was also the emotional and mental pressure and the drain that you can imagine would come from a situation like that when you're watching possible defeat right in your face, and there isn't a whole lot that you might think you can do about it. When memes are being made about you and your team, and it's absolute mockery, and those memes are being published, and people are already laughing and talking about you. The setback is when people have literally given up on you, and they've gone to bed. They're not even interested in staying to see the end because the outcome of failure is so inevitable, right? When you experience something that is so visible to the world and everybody is looking in on you, that could be pretty daunting. And so that was the setback last night. Have you experienced in your life a setback on that level, on those proportions? Setbacks where everybody comes up with some thoughts about who you are and what you're capable of or not capable of. When everything or some things just feel like they're falling apart in rapid succession. There's like, you don't get a break. It just happens and keeps happening, and the failures just keep mounting one on top of the next. You feel like a failure in your relationships. Setback, right? You feel like a failure in your business. You had great expectations, great hopes. You told everybody you were gonna win because you're a winner. And the failures are visible and evident to everyone around you. You're failing in your job. You're not making the advancements. There's tension. There's distress. You are just an unfulfilled, unhappy person on your job. Or maybe it's in school. Everyone's looking towards your graduation, your successful completion of this degree that you're working on. And everyone can see that you're still there a year later, 2 years later. Setback, failure. You just don't know how things are going to work out, but right now it looks pretty dim. It looks pretty dismal. The wind has literally been sucked out of you. And you just feel defeated. Actually, I really want to say you feel deflated, but we won't go there. Everyone counted you out and gave up on you. Setback, right? Setback, your car's not working. The house note is in trouble. You are not able to do the things that you promised. Setback. You can't go to the doctor because you have no insurance and you once had. Setback. Everything you know to be true seems to just be falling apart. The things that were once simple are now difficult. Setback. Those setbacks in your life can be very real, particularly when they are not private. When they're public and everybody's looking at them, those setbacks can be really painful. Recovering from them takes a lot of courage, but it takes more than courage. It takes a setup. And so deep down inside, you know that you can win. You know that even when the odds are against you, when everything seems impossible, you know that you can win. You have to do some things differently, but the win is going to come. Defeat is not what everybody thinks it is. It's not going to be a constant in your life. You use that as yes. You know what? This is happening right now to me, but there are some life lessons I can take out of this. There is some wisdom I'm gaining through these experiences. There's some maturity and some growth, and there are some things that will strengthen me as I work on my set-up plan. Have you been there? If you haven't been there yet, be prepared to create a set-up in the face of your setback. You talk to your coaches, and they're telling you, look, you've done this before. What's going on? Here's the game plan. Do this. And it doesn't matter as so much as what they say as what you do when you're on the field of life, when you're out there on the field playing the game, when you're able to implement and put into practice all the things that you have studied, all the locker room talks, all the pep talks, all the encouragement. When you are now on the field of life and you're implementing, that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where it all matters. When you go to your teachers or you go to your professors and you say, look, things are looking pretty dismal right now, but I'm not giving up. I don't have give up in me. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this successfully. So work with me here. I need some support. I need some help, because my belief is strong. My belief is telling me that if I make some adjustments, I can set this up differently. The setup. And when nothing seems to work, and the simple plays, the plays that you do repeatedly over and over, now become complex. The balls that you caught all the time and passed them, now you can't even catch them. It's like, what's going on? But you take that determination and the experience, and you draw on your strength and those around you, and you create your setup plan, because you don't allow the noise around you to pull you down. You don't allow the voices in your head that love to come in, rush in and take up residence and feed you with all the negative messages. You send them away as quickly as they show up, because there is no space in your set up plan for negative voices and negative messages. You realize that, yes, you were set back from making all the progress and the success you desired. You realize that, yes, things are grim. And everybody's seen it. I can't fool anybody, and I'm definitely not going to fool myself. Because once I own it, then I can set it up differently. Because what's happening on the inside is that you know that regardless of what else is happening on the outside, your drive is strong, your belief is strong. And you know that if you make some tweaks, some adjustments in your game plan, different outcomes will happen. You know that if you got a little bit stronger, you know that if your team of supporters continue to rally around you, you know that if you set up a different game plan and you have different actions, some different reactions will happen in your life, in your game, on the field of your life, like we saw last night in the Super Bowl. You believe that to be true. And so you set up the field of your life with some different movements. Even if the players are the same, your movements are different. Even if the same spectators around you are heckling you and telling you that you're never going to make it, you're no good, you're washed up, you're you're just not going to survive what's going on around you right now. You believe that your setup is so strong that you're taking the lessons of your lived experiences, you're taking the things that have happened in your life, and you're drawing also from the successes that you've had. You're taking everything around you and you're now saying, okay, Setback, we're gonna do a different setup. We're gonna draw on everything that I know to be true, and the same spectators can stay there and laugh and talk, but we're moving forward. Even if you're the only one who understands the play, and you share that and you run with it. Because when you hold on to your setup and you hold on to your beliefs, that's what's going to help you drive and continue to fight to the bitter end. Now, understand me well here. The setup is not hocus pocus. It's not wishful thinking. The setup is really strategic. It's very aligned with the things that are proven to create successful outcomes. It requires a shift in your mindset, in your belief. It requires throwing off some of the weight and the burdens and the heaviness that's holding you down. It requires a new skill set. It requires some new implementation. It absolutely requires some new action. And then you'll see the resultant reaction from those actions, right? And then comes the comeback. I'm telling you, if you stay around long enough and you participate in the comeback, it's the absolute sweetest thing ever. That's when you're taking your action to a whole new level. You're focused and intense and driven, and you're breaking the line of scrimmage in your life. You're out in the field of life. You're visible. You're not afraid. You're not ashamed. You really don't care. You're like, okay, you're already laughing at me. You're already making memes about me. You're already publishing stuff about me. What do I have to lose? I have everything to gain, and I am going to gain because I'm a winner, right? You take some blows, but you get up and you go again. You keep on going. And then, if you keep doing it with the belief and with the support and your team rallying around you, the impossible begins to happen. The unbelievable results begin to happen. That's where the shift occurs. That's where people get confused. That's where they're looking at each other like, what just happened here? I have no idea what's going on, but I see some things that I've never seen before. That's when they begin to change the memes they've made about you. They're in complete awe, in shock, in a state of utter disbelief, right? Meanwhile, that's what's happening with them. But what's happening with you is you get stronger. You get more confident. Nobody can say anything about me. There's no defeat that's going to happen again. You are moving forward. Why? Because now you've tasted victory. And for some, you're tasting victory again. For those of you who are tasting it for the first time, it is a sweet fragrance. It is delicious. It is romantic. It is energizing. It's a new high. It's something you want to experience over and over again. Your relationships are improving because you're putting in the necessary work, because you're making different movements on the field of your life, because you are realizing that you've got to make some adjustments in order for the outcomes to be different. Your grades are turning around. Why? Because you've accepted, you know what? I have failed. I have done some things that I'm not so proud of. I am not fulfilling all that I need to, and I know I can do more in my life. I'm going to go get help. I'm going to talk to my professors. I'm going to talk to my teachers. I'm going to talk to someone who can give me some tutoring. I'm going to get some help because my comeback is right here, right now. Your business is becoming profitable. You're doing the things that attract people into your life, the right people. The highly targeted, engaged people that need to be in your life are showing up. They're popping up everywhere. Your job is being fulfilled. You're feeling fulfilled in your job again. And the comeback brings everything into focus. It's a whole new level of life and of experience. It is utterly unbelievable. But you've got to go through it. You've got to be prepared to check yourself, to take some inventory, to look at what your actions have been. What is your strategy? And who are you implementing those strategies with? And how do you make the right changes, right? You've got to go through it to get to it. The comeback, your comeback, is what's going to inspire others to create their setup for their comeback. Let's roll. Let's do it. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.